I hope that was as creepy for you as it was for me. Welcome back to my car. I feel all out of practice, which is silly because it's been, what, 3 days tops, maybe? What is today? It's Thursday. I did it on Monday, so I'm missing 2 days, which is the same amount of days I would miss over a weekend. And I feel all out of sorts. I've been feeling kind of out of sorts lately anyway, and I guess I could talk about feeling out of sorts. Well, the thing about feeling out of sorts is, no, I'm not going to talk about that. That's ridiculous. Stuff. I think it's just work, really. And I'm not going to complain about it to you guys. But what is going on in my life lately? Are there exciting new developments in the world of the whatever you people call me? What does that even mean? That's a weird thing to say. But there are not exciting new developments. I looked at it just before I started recording this, and I'm pretty sure I could fit 3 people at least in one of these, in the shot on one of these, and have at least the passenger and the rear passenger be visible. I don't know about the driver's side back seat person, but we could at least have 3 people visible in the shot, and that would be pretty cool. And we might be able to move the camera up front and center. I'm pointing at it right now, but it's out of the shot, so you can't see. We might be able to move the camera up front and center where a what you doing? Oh, okay. People being whoa, sneezes. This is not really working right now. There's too many people all going the same way. It's not functional. We're going to take a detour today and go places that you're not going to be able to see because I've got the camera facing the wrong way, and I don't think I can switch midstream. And I don't really feel like playing with the camera while I'm driving just to show. Oh, maybe I should. Yeah. I'm going to try that. So I'll talk about some stuff. We're going to take a weird detour, and if we're lucky, then the camera will be set up and you'll get to see my favorite view over Lake Union, which is pretty cool. That'll be a cool new thing. I gotta do something about it. I'm gonna trim my bird. I also want to do some of those Let's Craft videos I keep talking about. I think that will help with the generalized malaise if I just keep doing the things that I do that make me pretty happy. And I'm gonna do this thing, and it will that's just what's gonna happen. And all of these people who are trying desperately to get on the I-5, they can continue to do so. I don't actually need to help them with that. I'll go a little further up, and then we'll make a quick cut and see if we can't turn the beat around or the camera, turn the camera around, and then see what kind of editing we have to do. Ooh, because it's probably going to be extra shots, right? So I'll see if I can flip the camera probably a little bit before we get there, because, you know, don't want to do everything at the last second. And then we'll do that. Express lane's open, but that is northbound, and I am not going north. I am going to go north to go south. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but that's what I'm gonna do. Doodly doodly doo doo doo. Part of the reason I'm still kind of attached to the forward-facing camera is that at least, like, there's something to look at. Because the rear-facing camera, the only thing you have to look at is my face, and you only have that when the light's good, right? Other than that, it's weird, shadowy mess, and it's just kind of not right, you know, it's not on. But forward facing, as much of a pain as it is for me to go through and scrub all the license plates, I do still do that. I do still think that's the right choice. And all the haters can suck it. As much of a pain in the ass it is, at least like it's something to look at. Even if it's the same commute, the same traffic, it's something to see, which is not what you're getting for huge chunks of the drive. Well, in the really dark parts of the drive, you don't get that the other way either, now that I look back on it. Like, you can't really see across the lake to see Bellevue or anything, so I don't know what good that does anyone. I'm going to have to be really cautious about forward-facing daytime videos just because there's so many license plates, which almost makes it so that it's not even an issue, right, to record them because there's so many of them. Is that a text message? I think that might be a text message. Doing a big cleanup. There's a whole giant pile of recycling at work, and it's all electronics recycling, right? Just lots and lots of doodads and bits and bobs and what have yous. Well, I'm kind of in need of, you know what? I'm getting pretty close. Let me see if we can adjust the camera. What happens if I just do a thing? Can I switch the camera mid-roll? I cannot. Okay. I will be right back. And we're back. Okay, so I wasn't able to switch. I had to switch it around. I started recording a little bit ago just to make sure I had everything going, and then, oh, there it is. There it is. Can you see it? Kind of not really. Oh, that's too bad. It's really pretty out there. Metered stop. Okay. I don't know how well that turned out. It's my favorite view, and especially at night when everything is all lit up, it's super pretty. Okay. Just remount the camera. And that was weird. Okay. Stopping. There are so many people, but I will get back to you. I will be right back in like 3 seconds. Well, none seconds your time. Okay. So we're right back. It was like 20 seconds for me. So many people. Well, this person I think is letting me in. Thank you so much. Woo! Crazy. You know what? I'm not gonna fidget with the camera too much. I have already fidgeted with the camera too much, so I'm not gonna do any more. Do I need to be over one more? I think this is the right lane. Let's pretend that this is the correct lane and we'll stay in it. And worst comes to worst, we'll end up on James Street, and that's really not that bad. Okay, so the camera is not mounted in quite the way it normally is, which means that it might shake around a bit more than usual. I apologize in advance if that is the case. Woo! I love that view. I really do. It makes me so happy, and Lake Union is just super pretty at night. So what was I talking? You know, the funny thing is, I keep forgetting what I say I'm going to say, and usually it's like some small item of whateverness that something I kind of want to talk about, and then I'll say, okay, I'll get right back on that, and then, you know, an hour and a half later I start the next segment and I have completely forgotten. I don't really have that excuse this time because it's been less than 6 minutes and I have already forgotten whatever on earth I was supposed to be talking about. Oh, right. So I work in IT, tech support. which means that lots of old computer equipment ends up cycling through our hands. And we are looking at moving buildings, so cleaning everything out, which means all of the employees get to basically raid for any recycling stuff that they might want. I did not take home any server equipment to play on. I didn't really have space for it. I don't think my roommates would appreciate it, so I didn't. A couple of my coworkers did, so that should be fun. Canta y no llores, porque cantando se le... No? Nobody? Oh, okay. That's fine. I don't remember the words after that point anyway. Sorry. Apologies. So, I got to rate it, and I took home batteries from laptops, which seems like a damn fool thing to take home, but I'm gonna have fun with them. I know I am. I have a huge stack of them. We'll take them apart, we'll start investigating them, and maybe we'll look into building charge circuits. And if we can do that in a Let's Craft, that would be so much fun. I also took home keyboards, because right now I'm working on a single laptop, 2 laptops. I have a work laptop. When I'm at home, I use it pretty much to watch movies and YouTube videos and whatnot. And I just put those up, and then I can do whatever else I want on my personal laptop. But they're both laptops, and the personal laptop is a bit older. Is someone trying to get over? If I make space for them? Is behind me trying to make space for them? I think so. So if I scoot up my head, yeah. Okay. People are good. Everyone's good. Everyone's good. Good. That's great. I ended up walking home from the wrong bus stop last night because I was bored. I didn't want to stand around for 20 minutes and wait for the bus, so let's walk. It's like a 40-minute walk, so I would have saved time if I had waited for the bus, but I wanted to walk, so I walked, which is great because it goes through some like urban trails type places, and there's no one there, which means I can talk to myself, and that's super awesome. I like talking to myself, which is why I do these videos. Lo and behold! And I was talking about doing voices. And I can do voices, and now that somebody's watching, I'm all self-conscious, and I'm like, I don't want to do a voice. What if I offend somebody? What if somebody doesn't like the voices I'm doing? Or let me see if I can get into them. Started here, and then I brought it up, and then I brought it there, and then I made it like this. And there was a lot of gesticulation that went along with the voice. I know it wasn't really, so I wasn't going for a nasal feel, I was just bringing it up. There it is. Maybe this is it? I think this is right. I think this is the voice that I had, and I was doing this, and I was talking to myself, and going off for quite a while in probably this voice. I think it was similar. I think if I had a recording of it, I could probably I could probably match it a little better. Maybe. Maybe not. You know, the thing is, it's really difficult to tell what you sound like from the inside. So I can't really tell how it sounds, and I don't really know if it comes across as something else, or if I were to listen to it, would it sound like me, or would it sound like someone else? I don't really know. You know, it's hard to say. What else did I say? Apparently, what I'm told, voice actors, professional voice actors, more or less universally, are able to sing. Voice impersonation, it being inherently an effective pitch and rhythm, timbre, which are things that you need to be aware of if you're singing. So yes, I can sing, but I feel really nervous about doing it in front of people, so I don't. It just makes me a little uncomfortable. So I was working on characteristic gesticulations associated with a given voice. And the thought was that if I had characteristic gesticulations, if I had hand motions that went along with a given voice, it would be easier to recall because I'd have more things linking the memory of that voice. But I don't really remember those either. So that being said, does anyone else experience this? When I do voices for a long time, or accents, I have a really hard time coming back to my natural voice and accent. I don't remember where it is or what it feels like, so I feel like I waver around a lot, kind of flailing for the accent without ever actually discovering it. Ordering something for dinner tonight. What are we gonna have? Maybe fried rice. Really need some kind of like a tofu or like chicken. I feel like I need turkey in my life for the tryptophan. Look at the MAOI list, the MAOI forbidden list, and just eat everything on there. And so you say, what's an MAOI? Well, today we're going to talk about pharmacology. MAOI stands for Monoamine Oxidase Inhibitor. What it does is exactly what it says. It inhibits monoamine oxidase. Monoamine oxidase breaks down serotonin in your digestive system. Serotonin is used in digestion, and that's where most of it is produced. And so it breaks down in your gut through MAO, and then spreads throughout your body after that. An important use of serotonin is happy feels. The many generally happy feelings are triggered by serotonin in your brain. Not all of them. There are other ones. Dopamine is the other big one, and that is the sense of reward. But serotonin is also important. It's a sense of happiness, and that's happy feels are often linked to that. So there are some foods that can cause your body to produce more or less of that. And one thing to be aware of is that certain foods make you feel certain ways, because things like turkey is known to contain tryptophan, and actually beef does too. And tryptophan is digested in your body as part of the process of synthesizing serotonin. And I'm missing some steps, and I'm not totally right about everything I'm saying, but the general gist should still be correct. And there are a couple chemicals that'll do this. There are things you need to be aware of eating. And eating more of them will produce more serotonin, which in general will make you feel happier. Now, for the vast majority of people, from a default state, it's not really a problem whereby if you gorge yourself on too much tryptophan, your body will overproduce serotonin and you'll have problems. You'll have problems from other things before that happens. Too much serotonin in your body, in particular in your brain, will cause serotonin toxicity, and you can die from it. It is deadly, and that's kind of a terrifying thing. Not usually an issue. Like, not hardly ever, really. The time that it is an issue is if you're doing anything that increases the serotonin in your brain. And one thing to be aware of is there is a class of what are widely considered last resort antidepressants. This may have changed recently because I think there were some changes in the chemicals, which is cool. We'll get to that. But the class of chemicals is MAOIs, or Monoamine Oxidase Inhibitors. And when you're taking an MAOI, it stops the monoamine oxidase from digesting the serotonin in your gut, leaving more serotonin available for your brain. It is prescribed in cases where there is a severe clinical depression that cannot be treated by other means and that is clearly traced to a lack of serotonin. So if your body cannot produce enough serotonin, or your body has overactive monoamine oxidase, and there is no other way to help you with your clinical depression, then an MAOI could be prescribed. The problem is they don't go away. You don't like stop taking it and then your body starts working again. You start on it and then you never really gain the monoamine oxidase back. Which, I mean, you need it, right? That stuff is important, but you can sacrifice a little bit if it's going to make your brain work. The thing is, because there are these there are foods that will produce additional serotonin, you need to be aware when you're on them that there are foods you should not eat, or it could lead to unexpectedly high levels of serotonin in your brain, and that could be deadly. It starts out being really awful before it gets to deadly. So you have warning about that, but it's just important to know that it's not good for you. For people without who are not on MAOIs, eating those sorts of things will generally cause a spike in happiness. But it's not immediate. You have to digest them, and then your body has to turn all the chemicals into serotonin, and then you'll get that little spike of happiness. Now, it may be that there was a time when MAOIs were prescribed more widely, and I have heard, though I should look it up to be sure, that there is such a thing as a reversible MAOI now, and that people can make them so that you can go off them and your body chemistry will return to normal. And if so, that's really good. That's really good news. Because they're dangerous, but sometimes you have to. Hopefully they're fairly rare in practice. That's my understanding. Well, as you can probably tell, I've stopped the car. I've run some errands before I go home. So I am going to do that, and I will be right back with you on the other side. You'll hold on a sec. And I'm back. And my freaking settings are all janked up. They're still janked. They're still janked from when I yanked the camera out to look at the thing. I hope that image came out, because otherwise that was like a giant waste of a perfectly good arm setting, and everything was all nice. I had the camera where I wanted it, and it was all tied up against the windshield, and now it's all gibbledy. Stop gibbling! Oh, so gibbledy. Oh my gosh. This is awful. This is just This is the worst. Did I get it? I think I got it. Good. Bueno. Willkommen. Welcome back. Today I figured out how to spell double-sided in Dutch. Set up a new printer for a client. Went and downloaded the drivers. Installed the drivers. All the drivers were in Dutch. I don't know how this happened because I wasn't there when we installed it, but I guess we spent like an hour and a half. One of the other engineers at the office, the other people, spent like an hour and a half trying desperately to figure out what on earth it could have been. And I guess they eventually did get it, but anyone who had it installed originally still has the Dutch drivers, so all of their settings are in Dutch. Which means today I found where it says dubbelzijdig, maybe? Dubbelzijdig? I think it said dubbelzijdig. And it's like DOBBELSI, or is it a Z? No, it's SIJDIG. Zijdig. Dubbelzijdig. And then I looked at it, I was like, oh, one-sided. Okay, that must say one-sided printing. Well, luckily for me, by complete coincidence, there happened to be somebody in that office who is Dutch, and looked at it, he said, yep, that's Dutch. How did you get this in Dutch? I said, I don't know, I didn't install it. It was just, that's the one we found, and we fought and didn't find the English ones right away, so that's where we're at. I was like, oh, weird. When we were looking at it, I was like, is that what that says? He goes, yeah, I think that's double-sided, and it's flip on the long side, flip on the short edge, and okay, yeah, huh. So, you know, now I have seen double-sided print settings in Dutch. See all kinds of strange stuff every day, so that's cool. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. So I wonder, I mean, it's not very likely. I feel like the audience for this sort of thing is pretty slim. So the probability of me running into somebody who watches these is going to be pretty low. Obviously, the probability of me running into somebody who watches these right now is 0 because nobody watches them. But assume by the time you have seen it, someone else has seen it too. I still think the total audience is going to be pretty small. So the chances of me running into somebody is going to be pretty slim. As I was thinking to myself, is that too distinctive a story? Like, will someone be able to track down who I am and what I'm talking about from that story? Maybe, but they'd have to already be listening to me. And if they're already listening to me, anyone who could track me down by that story would know my voice. Because it would be somebody I work with who would see me and go, I know that guy. Or it would be somebody I talk to on the phone and they'd say, I know that voice. I know that weirdo. So they'd already be privy to that story. Probably. And if it was somebody from a different client who recognized my voice, you wouldn't know who that was. It could be anybody. The story of the Dutch drivers, that could happen anywhere. Stop clicking, please. Thank you. Channel update notes. Hopefully, moving forward, I will have slightly fewer videos to upload. And that seems like kind of a bad thing, right? I should be uploading these all the time. But for right now, I'm way behind, and I'm getting less than one done a night as far as editing goes. And I'm definitely putting in 2 or 3 a week, and it's not breaking even, I don't think. So I need to kick it up a notch, get the editing done. And then I need to assess how often I do this. Right now I'm doing it 3 nights a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I think for one reason or another, I'm going to end up doing this twice a week, Monday, Friday. Though they won't upload on Mondays or Fridays, so if I get streamlined, I can expect them to upload Tuesdays and Saturdays. So I guess that's going to be my goal. Once I get caught up, I'm going to get caught up and upload, and it's going to be beautiful. Once I get caught up, hopefully by the end of the month, let's make that a goal. By the end of the month, I will check in, and in that video, I'll let you know how I did getting everything uploaded. Concrete goals. Concrete goals. So, starting at that point, the goal will be for the rest of the year, at least, to upload twice a week, once on Tuesday and once on Saturday. And we'll see where we go from there, with just the driving vlogs. If we can, I'd like to do driving vlogs and a Let's Craft every week. But I'll wait until the Let's Crafts get started before I do any more of those. Before I worry about an upload schedule for that. And that could be a Wednesday thing. That would be great. If I could do 2 drives and a craft once a week with a video associated, then I think I'll be looking pretty good. I'll be getting videos done, which is fun, and I like that. I will be meeting goals, which is good for you, to meet your goals. Make goals and meet them. It's good for you. And I will be crafting more, and that's also a good thing that I want to do more of. So I think all around, that would be a great big win if I can get to that point. So let's make the goal be catch up on videos by the end of the month. And then that's 4 Let's Crafts for March, 1 a week. It's currently the beginning of February. 4 Let's Crafts a month a week, or 4 Let's Crafts for the month of March. And see where we are at that point. That will be my goal. Yeah. Okay, good. Good deal. Yeah. And on that note, have an excellent night, and I will talk at you in the next video.